During one of our recent heatwaves in London, I decided to head to the coast to cool down, but instead of taking a dip in the ocean at Eastbourne, I went to visit a stationery shop, All Things Analogue. I have been meaning to visit this shop for a very long time. I have ordered from them online before, but nothing beats browsing a stationery shop in person. I also wanted to pick up a special limited edition item which I had missed out on pre-sale, and I have a video up on my channel unboxing that Traveller's Notebook 20th anniversary tin if you'd like to see it. But let's take a day out to Eastbourne. It took me about 2 hours to get down to Eastbourne from where I am in London, and it was lovely to see the countryside scenery flying past on the train down there. The train passes through Lewes, which is a historic town which I have visited before, and I would highly recommend a stop there on the way to Eastbourne if you're making the trip. Arriving into Eastbourne station, it's not that far to walk to the shop, so it won't take you too long to get there. And here is Grove Road, which is where All Things Analogue can be found. And you can't miss it with its lovely blue storefront. Before we head in, I'd recommend taking in their lovely window displays. This one is themed because the Wimbledon tennis is on. And you'll always know the shop is open because they have this typewriter outside with a chair. And they had a really beautiful travel theme display to go along with the launch of the 20th anniversary customization tin. Now that we've seen everything outside, let's head on in to look at the stationery. The store is beautifully set out, very airy and bright. And as you can see, it was quite busy on a Saturday morning, even with the sun shining and the ocean beckoning people into it. The stationery lovers just could not stay away. As a Traveller's Notebook partner store, they had the range of Traveller's Notebooks here and refills, and lots of beautiful decorations in keeping with the Traveller's theme. And here is the selection they have on display. I really like that they have all of the different leather cover colours on display so you can see how they age and really get a feel for them. And here are all the refills for the regular size, as well as some spiral notebooks, charms, and of course the passport refills. When they're scheduled, they take part in stamp caravans run by Traveller's Notebook, and they also have a partner stamp for you to collect, as well as some other stamps. And I was really happy to be able to collect the All Things Analogue partner stamp, which features the cliffs of Beachy Head in Eastbourne. They're very happy for you to stamp as much as you want, so I took some extras on my lightweight paper. They also had some other stamps, including the Star Ferry stamp, which is very rare, and they also have a stamp of their logo. There's so much here, so let's take a closer look around the store. As I've said before, I'm not a fountain pen person, but they had lots of pens and inks laid out here, as well as paper and some sample pens that you could use to test them out. And at this end, there were some notebooks, washi tape, and mesh pouches. In this corner case, you have some more pens and more premium items, which you can ask to see. And on the shelf next to it, there are lots of colourful stationery items, including Toyo steel toolboxes and Leuchtturm notebooks. Here we have some colourful washi tapes, the Midori pre-ink stamps, and lots of beautiful sticker sheets. And next along the wall, we have this wonderful display of pens. I love how they're in these glass beakers, so you can see all of the colours and the types of pens they have available. If you're looking for a seaside and stationery souvenir, they have these wonderful gull range with postcards and stickers, and there's lots of greeting cards on this wall to choose from. At the table as you walk in, there are lots of notebooks and accessories, pens, and just beautiful bits and pieces to look at. It is a very well curated range, and you may be lucky enough to see a little doggy friend in the shop as well, as they are dog friendly. On this side of the shop we have even more notebooks, so you can see here they have some of the Midori paper and more Leuchtturm notebooks as well as others. And they also have some books about design and art, so that's mixed in with the stationery to help inspire you. And I really like that because if you're looking for a gift for someone, you can give them both the tools and the inspiration to get started. Even though I only came to buy one specific item, and I'm always on a self-imposed stationery buying ban during the year, I was so tempted by so many things in this shop. It is just wonderful. Also, don't forget to look at the inside of the window displays because they're quite deep and they'll often have little bits hidden in here, including an additional stamping station, which I took advantage of. And these are the stamps that I stamped in the window, and I really loved the camera and the music themed stamps. Here's another look at the table display. So this is the other side of that front table, and there is just so much here to see. They also have the very popular Sula Studio pouches. And I really love these wooden shelves on the back wall with more accessories and bags and sort of tchotchkes and things for the home. They also have a last chance to buy an X display basket, so don't forget to look down for that. Overall, the shop has a wonderful vibe, which is in part due to the decoration and the curation, but also due to the people. I had a really lovely chat with Abel, who's one of the owners, and it also felt very easy and comfortable to chat with other customers because we're all here because we love stationery, and it was just a wonderful experience being there. So even though I wanted to spend all day in there, I thought I should get back out into the sunshine and see what else Eastbourne has to offer. Continuing up Grove Road, there is a bookshop which you must visit. Camilla's bookshop is a treasure trove in every sense of the word. It is jam-packed full of books, so much so that they spill out onto the street. So before heading in, I'd recommend having a look down the side at the books and also the ones out the front. There is just so much out here that once you step inside, you'll realize that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think this is a book lover's dream because there is barely any floor space. It is just packed floor to ceiling with books. So set some time aside because you do have to rummage, but there are just absolute hidden gems waiting to be found in Camilla's bookshop. At the top of Grove Road, I walked past the Eastbourne Town Hall, which is beautiful, and then I headed to my next stop, which was Towner Eastbourne, an art gallery. And this building is painted so vividly that you really can't miss it. It was also a great spot to get out of the heat and into some air conditioning. They do have a program of paid exhibitions, but when I was visiting, they also had the Revilius collection on display, which was a pay what you can or free exhibition to visit. This was just upstairs on the first floor. They did also have a lift if you needed that for access. Eric Revilius is a very well-known British artist, and he worked locally to the area. And they have a detailed timeline of his life, as well as examples of his watercolours, his woodblock prints, and the tools that were used to create them. It was actually really amazing to see the prints with the woodblocks that created them, and one of the attendants actually came over and gave me a magnifying glass so that I could take a closer look. They also had this really lovely reading room area in the exhibition, so you could take some books and have a look at them while you were in the gallery. His wife, Terza Garwood, was also an artist, and they feature some of her work here as well. The first time I saw an Eric Revilius print was on a mug like this, not one that I owned, but one that I saw in a house I was visiting. So I primarily know Eric Revilius from his pottery designs. This pottery is very popular and very collectible, so it was nice to see it in the gallery alongside the drawings for the designs. After I'd gotten my fill of artwork, I headed back downstairs to check out what else they had on offer. Downstairs they have other exhibition spaces as well as a cafe and, of course, the shop. If you prefer a more stylish souvenir, it's always best to look in places like this. And if you're looking for stationery, a museum gift shop is always a place to go. They had some Japanese stationery mixed in with all of their other gift items, including some Midori and high tide items that you can see here. Next, towards the front entrance, they had the tourist information area, which we saw advertised on that sign outside. And for journalers, I think this is a great place to go because you can pick up leaflets and things that have pictures of the area that you can use in your travel journals or just as mementos and ephemera that you take home with you. If this isn't enough, I would always recommend looking by the toilets as well, as there are often more community flyers around there. After stationery and art, I thought it was about time that I actually go and see the water and the beach. It was quite a warm day, but it was a few degrees cooler than London, so I was happy to have the sea breeze and hear the seagulls squawking and just enjoy the vibes of Eastbourne. It was lovely to walk along the promenade, especially as they had these bushes in full bloom, and I loved the pink against the blue sky. And as I got further along, I was able to peek over and see the pier. As an Australian, I do not understand pebble beaches and I find them really difficult to walk on, but I thought while I'm here, I might as well step down onto the beach and just see what it's like. Also, as I walked past the bandstand, there was a choir performing and it was just lovely to see everyone enjoying it. and I could still hear them for quite a while as I kept walking along towards the pier. Eastbourne really is just a classic seaside town with lots of spots along the seafront to eat and many hotels facing the water. Finally, I arrived on the pier and it was nice to walk out and see the views over the water. However, it was extremely windy and there were seagulls everywhere, so I made sure not to buy any food here at risk of being swooped and just tried to enjoy the views while holding down my dress so I didn't get blown away. Once I was feeling quite windswept, I decided to walk back in towards the town centre. And after pottering around a little bit more, I decided it was time to head back to London, so headed to the station following these cute little pooches and headed to the train, which thankfully was air conditioned. I had a really nice trip down to Eastbourne and I'm really glad that I finally was able to visit All Things Analogue. I hope you really enjoyed seeing the store tour and a little bit of what else you can do while you're in Eastbourne. I know there is so much more you can do in Eastbourne. You can walk up to Beachy Head and visit the neighbouring villages, so this was just a short glimpse at what is possible. Please let me know down in the comments if you've been to Eastbourne and All Things Analogue and what you think, or if you're wishing to visit there in the future. I'll also link a playlist to some other stationery store tours that I have up on my channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you know when I post more about stationery. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.